Live on stage, the sound
of Orlando.
So, if they ready, the sound
of Orlando.
What is going on, party people? What is going on? This is your boy Rome, live and direct on a Friday night. This is the Sound of Orlando show, affectionately known as the Soul Show. You know what time it is, man. We represent our city well, our city, our story, and our motherfucking sound. It is Friday night, man. If you're alive to see this show, consider yourself making it, man. All my peoples in the city, this show goes out to you. We're talking to the entire country, man, because hip hop is this thing of ours. And man, what a great night to talk about hip hop, man. This next guest I got going on, man, is legendary, man. Legendary. When you're talking about what hip hop is to the culture and what these guys were able to provide as a collective, what my man was able to do lyrically, he put LA on a different map altogether. Originally from Ohio, representing Los Angeles. I mean, this brother, you know, part of that Loud Records, you know, classic material. You know, Loud Records was known for Wu-Tang, Dead Prez, Mobb Deep, and to know that these people did they damn thing. I mean, literally just went insane on you know records for so long. I mean, with hits like Damn, you know, the Licks, you know, Punch, you know, just in the punchline, just so intense, so insane, you know, lyrically crafted in a different way. The beats was always off the complete meter. I'm so honored to have my man come on representing hip hop to the fullest. Give it up for my brother from another mother, all the way on the West Coast, in the studio right now. Give it up for my man Tash from the Alkaholiks. Let's go.
That was a hell of an intro.
Let's go. Let's go. Man.
What's up, man?
Man, so glad, so honored to have you on the show tonight, man. I even got a beer for the event. Just celebrating what you guys do. I mean, I'm just hyped. I'm just hyped.
Well, that's what's up, man. But let me let you down slowly. I don't drink no more. I stopped drinking a year ago. So really, my 1 year anniversary is next Friday, and I'm going to Cancun for a couple of days. But
congratulations.
But, enjoy yourself, though. Don't let that stop nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, enjoy yourself. Everybody tune in. I told a lot of the homies to tune in and shit. So we're gonna have a good time. What you want to talk about first?
Okay, man. Let's get right into it, man. Talk about how you came to start with this thing of ours, hip hop, man. And, you know, talk about how you were brought into it and how did you go from being in Ohio to LA? You know, how did you make that transition going from there to there?
I mean, when we was kids and everything in Columbus, by the way, I'm from Columbus, Ohio. That's the home of me, Buster Douglas, Lil Bow Wow,
yes,
my grandpa, you know what I'm saying? You know, so
yes.
You know, I moved there when I was 12 years old. I moved to Los Angeles. We ain't gonna get into the circumstances what landed us in LA, but we had no intention on moving that quick to LA. It was just, some shit happened and we had to go, and that's where we ended up. Furthest from Columbus as we get. So
how was that transition?
People call it this shit. They call it me. They know I'm on the thing. So hold up one second. All right.
How was that transition from, like, you know, Columbus to LA? Like, talk about that. Like, what did that mean for you? Yep. Uh-oh, we're having some technical difficulties. We are, you know, coming all the way from California, so some technical difficulties would be expected. Here he comes. All right, boom.
Cut off.
Yeah, you good, brother. We're gonna work it out, man. Brother's gonna work it out.
I know we having the most technical difficulty. You ain't tell everybody we was trying to get this shit right for everybody for 25 minutes before we came on. But anyway, make a long story short, what I was trying to say was that as soon as I touched down, man, God put me in the right place, man. It was all hip hop, LA hip hop from there. It's like, you know, basically We met J-Roll. J-Roll was down with King T. King T basically embraced us and hey, could you let my boy Mayhem in downstairs? Down. Oh, thank you. Hello?
Yes.
Man, this motherfucking phone, dude. Are y'all there?
Yeah, I'm right here, brother.
Somebody's calling in my ear, so I can't even hear it. Look.
Okay. So continue,
I gotta let
my
this
brother.
shit go down, man. It's blasting on this end. I can't even hear.
Okay.
Sorry about that. God, grief,
No,
man.
you
I gotta
good,
turn my
brother.
ring off. I gotta turn my ring off. But anyway, like I said, J-Wo and King T used to be in a group called Total Control together. So when I met J-Wo and we started rocking with him, it was kind of like, you know, King T was, you know, he was already a superstar to us. So we was looking up to him like, I can't believe this shit. I'm out here in LA underneath King T, Cube, and DJ Pooh and all these different people. So, you know, basically,
Shout out to King
that's
T,
how,
man.
that's how I really, yeah. Shout out to Tila. He probably watching this thing, man. I sent some people the info, but
yeah.
But anyway, Tila, I sent him some songs today too. He about to jump on my album and everything. Shout out King T. That's the reason we're here. But once we got with King, I started hanging around King T, man. I was exposed to all that rapper life real early. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you know, I mean, just the limos and the chicks and the after parties. King T used to let us come up on stage and hype man for him. And we went, I don't think we was old enough to get in the clubs then, you know what I'm saying? So all that was just added up to, you know, I just had this addiction to the microphone, man. And, you know, I just, I was rapping before I met him and shit, but really that was an easy, that was a learning experience.
How was that coming together with J-Roll? Because it seems like y'all grew up together like from day one, but J-Roll's got his own style, you got your own style. Talk about that combination and how did it seem like that to you as an MC, kind of coming up with him, cutting your teeth with him?
Yeah, the whole thing is that I met J-Roll when I was 17 and I'm in my late 40s now, so I did kind of grow up with him, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, right.
But you know, like you said, we was two different things. Like when I came from Ohio at 12 or 13, already was bumping, you know, the East Coast. It really wasn't a gang of West Coast stuff out then. You know what I mean? It was like
right.
You kind of had to be in LA to know about Mixmaster Spade and Egyptian Lover and people like that. So you know, basically, what happened was like you know, just by seeing them guys. By that time, like Tila, he was the only rapper that I think I ever met at that time that was on a major label. He was on Capitol. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you wasn't on a label back then, you was kind of like you was just a backpack rapper. You just a dude rapping. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And King T brought me around the shit that let me know that we could really do this shit if we, you know, cut out a lot of shit that we was doing back then. But you know,
right. How did y'all form the idea of being the Alkaholiks, and how did y'all get to that space where you had this right formula? It was fun, it was lyrical, it was your MC shit that you want, you know, like how did y'all get that kind of thing going and not sound like you were from the West Coast, but sound exactly like you were from the West Coast in the version of what West Coast hip hop should sound like? You know, like y'all still had that knot of the, you know, like the patterns and the stuff like that, what hip hop from the East Coast may have, but y'all had your own sound to it. Similar to like Outkast. Outkast had their own twist on what hip hop was supposed to sound like for Atlanta. Y'all did the same thing for LA. Talk about that. How did you get to that space? How did it influence you to get to that space? Or did you know?
Me and Swift, we was from Ohio, and people don't realize that half the funk you hear is from Ohio. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the Zaps.
Shout out to Zap.
Yeah, I can name a million. And people don't realize this neither. There's a lot of things. I skip over this a lot of interviews, but it slips my mind. But like Al Green, the soul singer, I was on tour with him when I was a little kid. You know what I'm saying? My mom used to work for Al Green. And I lived in Memphis and all that shit. And I was there when he caught the grits and all that. I was on homeschool with his son, Poopy. I mean, not Poopy, his name is Norman, but he actually we call him Poopy now. But that's Al Green's son. Norman is his name. He's a pilot now.
Well, that's
But
dope, man. That's
we
dope.
grew up on the tour bus then, you know what I'm saying? So it's
Right,
always been in my blood, the music and the funk and all that good stuff. But
right,
when me and J-Ro first met each other, we was like solo artists. I was really just getting my feet wet with the rapping. J-Ro had already been in groups with King. Matter of fact, King T used to be J-Ro DJ. You know what I'm saying? So
wow,
that's just hip hop history for you. But
right,
I mean, when King T, I think that's what he saw. He knew that me and Swift was on Ohio, and he knew Swift had the funky beats because I think the first thing Swift looped was a song called "I Guess Funky," and he looped heard it through the grapevine or some shit. You know what I mean? So
wow,
KT was like, "I'm fucking with y'all," and
right,
then
right,
really Swift got put on. I was just a hanger outer for a long time because my cousin Swift got put on to be his King T's DJ. King T had a DJ, and I don't know what happened with Keep Coolio. I don't know what happened, but he needed a DJ to go on tour with him, and he took Swift and left me and J-Ro sitting there at home. But you know what I'm saying? The rest is history. When he came back, Tila was
right,
like, King T was like, you know, I want to fuck with y'all and everything. And Swift started banging out the beats that make y'all. We had a before we was the Alkaholiks, we was a group called ESP, and that stood for
yes,
Everyday Street Poets. That's
right,
what we was. And I was like, that we thought it was dope because we was trying to be different than gangbang rap and this and that. So we was like, call
right,
ourselves street poets, and we used to rap everywhere we went. You know what I'm saying? It was cool, but you know, Tila is the one that King T's the guy that came up with the name the Alkaholiks, because we used to go to clubs and we ain't dance and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? We used to hang on the
right,
wall and slap girls on the butt and all that. You know, we just kids, you know, and
right.
everything. And I think somebody came with the Tila and said, "Hey man, y'all go to why y'all even go to clubs? Y'all just look like a whole bunch of alcoholics over there, or something like that, or something happened." But KT came to us and he came with a whole KT came with a whole breakdown of what is going the meaning of the alcohol. He said we're gonna spell it different because you ain't gonna be able
Right.
to get the word alcoholics on certain shit, which we didn't. We got banned from a lot of shit with that name, even spelled different, like Soul
Wow.
Train. They called us, and then we get to Soul Train. They tell us Don Cornelius never saw the name, and they told us we can't get down. So it
Yo,
hurt us
that's
and
hilarious.
helped. But he did tell us this though. He did say, Tila said, KT said, he said we should name the stuff the Alkaholiks because he said first of all, he said that's a name. He said that's a name that's gonna be in every party. He said, when the last time you been to a party with no alcohol? You know what I'm saying? And all that. He had little
Right.
breakdowns and shit. He said, then we gonna get the attention with that, and then we gonna have a whole bunch of positive shit in our shit, like don't drink and
Right.
drive and all this type of shit. And we fell for it. We was like, all right, you know what I mean? We put that out there. We didn't realize that that's one of them names that once you hear it, you'll never forget that one. You
No,
know?
you never forget it, man. And I like what you said. You were trying to do something different than what the gangster rap that was going on at the time coming out of the West Coast. And we're talking about, people that were, contributing along the way in the West Coast, the Far Sides, Dale the Funky Homo Sapiens, all of these people that were doing little bit different, flow in comparisons to what the gangster rap was presenting. Did you intend to do that? And what was that like being a part of that particular circle in the West Coast? Because I know what that is on the East Side, but what was that like on the West Side where rappers actually wanted to do something other than what was being done around them? Talk about that.
I mean, I don't think that even though me and Swift and J, well, we done been through it all, man. Everything that every
Right,
gangster rapper been through, except the gangbanging, you know what I'm saying? We been around the gangbang, but not gangbangers, you know what I'm saying? We just
right, right,
know a lot of people and shit. But it's like, like the whole thing was that we realized that we was put here for a purpose. We was put here to do music, and the music we liked was like shit like, like Run DMC, Ice Cube, and just different
right.
shit like that. But that was lyrical. That was like Ice Cube was a gangster rapper, but he was lyrical as
No,
fuck. You
he
know
was
what I'm saying?
lyrical,
And all
man.
that
He right,
still
right.
is. You know what I'm saying? I just heard some new
Still
Cubes.
is.
Still is, and
Still
everything. So
is.
we just didn't want to. We just wanted to be comfortable in our own skin. Like you see, we got songs with Snoop. We got songs with
Right,
hella gangster rappers and shit. You name
right,
it, everybody. So we always being from LA and J-Bo being from Pacoima, we used to attract that crowd. You know what I'm saying? We used to attract like
right,
a hella thug crowd back in the days. Like we do shit downtown to be Bloods over here to see J-Bo, Crips over here to see the rest of us. These people in
right,
the middle just came to party. Mexicans over there, they want to, you know what I'm saying? We used to bring
right.
the whole city out to things. And that's because we wasn't on no negative shit. We was on straight positivity and having having the party wherever we go. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I think that was dope, man, because when you think about, I mean, even like you said, you're saying it wasn't as much as intentional as you knew where you wanted to be. And for a lot of artists, that's probably the hardest thing for them to do, especially right now. You know, for them to be comfortable in their own skin without feeling like they have to do, you know, what everybody wants them to do. You guys,
and that's what I encourage. I encourage all the artists from LA to Japan to Amsterdam, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Be yourself with that mic, man. I see a lot of imitation, and that was like the golden rule back in the days. Like you could be any form of rap you want to be, just be yourself, and everything will pan out. But you know, now it's like a infestation of biting, and you know what I'm saying? Regular a dude from the record label asked me the other day, do I know anybody that sounds just like this other artist? You know what I'm saying? Like that didn't used to be it. It used to be like hey man, you know anybody hot? You know anybody who got it right now? Who got the city buzzing? Who got this? Who has that? You know, that used to be, and the DJs used to like to break records and stuff, you know, like they was really take pride in being the first one with a new record. You know what I'm saying? All them days been over with, out the window. I'm saying I'm not even doing no more albums. I'm just dropping singles for the rest of my life. Single after single.
I heard that, man.
You know, but you know the whole thing is that.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna finish what you were saying about how we got accepted in it. I mean, what kept us once we realized that there was a lane and that people was accepting us for what we, you know, the hip hop that we was bringing. That's what really got us popping, because there was a million gangster rappers, but it was only one Alkaholiks. You know what I'm saying? One.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So
did you think you would hit? I mean, because you know how West Coast is one of like 3, maybe 4 major cities in which no matter what, they support their artists. Did you feel like you guys were getting that kind of support? Like, did you ever think you'd be rocked with, like you were rocked in, you know, New York, LA, all over the country? Did you think that everyone would feel you guys like that?
Yeah, that was kind of like that was why we came like that. We wanted we do like certain shit that people kind of it went over their head. Like for instance, like when all the East Coast West Coast beef was going on, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you notice what we was doing songs with the East Coast motherfuckers that we knew from before the beef. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To let people know that this is just between a couple people. You know what I mean? Everybody calm down. I know East Coast West Coast shit. Right. That's why when I drop Rap Life with Raekwon, I did that as a peaceful, like to show people that, you know, these my boys, and they just like us, but they on the East Coast, you know. Right. And so they you know, they got a bar that, but then I come right back. Everybody was like, oh, why you pick, you know, Raekwon to do a single with and all that? You from the West and all this. They didn't know that I already had the song with me, Snoop, Corrupt, and Exhibit on it already on deck. The video was shot. You know what I'm saying? Wow. So I came with them back to back to each other to show I could get down with East Coast motherfuckers. I can get down with West Coast. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it just and it went over everybody's head that, you know, that I was trying to show some shit. But
but do you feel like
my boy Mayhem from LA Zoo
what's good, homie?
I'll give some camera.
What's good, homie? How you doing, brother?
With you, brother?
Hey, man, glad to have you, man. We trying to get all over the country right now and talk to our people. And so, pleasure to have you on the show.
Oh yeah, man, definitely. You know what I'm saying? I can get you in Threat, and we can all, you know what I'm saying? We can all sit down, man, and chop it up.
Yeah, he done with Threat. LA Zoo.
Yes, sir. Let's talk.
Yeah,
but back to what we was talking about. Did you feel at the time, you know, that because you know that whole East Coast West Coast shit was about some bullshit anyway to begin with, to be started with.
That's what I was telling everybody. I was telling everybody that from the West. I was telling them, man.
But you know, did you feel that had a negative effect on what everyone was trying to do, which was hip hop in general, or did you feel like, you know, it was kind of a wash, if you will? Like I feel like it was a wash in the sense of there was a lot of music being created at the time that kind of fueled it. But then there was also brothers like yourself that were out here, you know, day in, day out, trying to change that narrative. That nah, man, we ain't all a bunch of, you know, people trying to kill each other, man. And y'all were doing fun music. Do you think we miss that now? Or
Hell yeah, but I'm about to fill that void though. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm in the studio. I really just said, fuck it. I mean, I was gonna rap and just, you know, have fun with it, and just if somebody want me on a song and all that shit. I got burnt out on trying to impress, you know, like a generation of people that I don't know, but I'm really talking about my generation. I don't know where all my alcoholic fans is right now. You know what I'm saying? Like they listen to this shit. Like,
yeah.
Can't believe they listen to something totally different. They eardrums is different nowadays, I guess. But I'm about to fill that void. But what I was saying about the last point you were saying about Biggie Smalls and everything.
1, 2.
You there?
You got Tash from the Alkaholiks joining the Soul Show, all the way from Los Angeles. Are you there, brother? You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Say that point again, because we lost you in mid sentence, and that shit sounded pretty damn good. Whatever you were saying. So say that one more time.
Oh no, I'll just tell everybody that to the previous question that what you was asking me and everything is that in the middle of the East Coast West Coast beef, people didn't even know that we was on tour with Biggie during that time. You know what I'm saying? So it was
crazy,
like a weird ass thing. It was a weird ass thing going on. It was like Biggie and the Junior Mafia, all the motherfuckers that was on the tour loved us, but they was getting like people would come to their concert from, you know, so they be in Chicago tripping off some East Coast, West Coast shit. It was like motherfuckers really chose sides all over the world. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
It was hella motherfuckers in Tennessee repping for the West Coast. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like really trying to kick it up. It ain't got nothing to do with this shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know,
right,
throwing shit on the stage and all that, you know what I mean? But it's all it's water under the bridge now because Pocket Big ain't here, so you know. I wish they could have seen that. I wish they could have seen everything clear up though. That's what I meant.
Right. And I'm glad you're talking about it because you were right there. This was during the thick of things, during some of the greatest music ever made during the 90s. And so many things were going on during that time that will never be done again. Music just sounded so awesome. You know, it seemed like California was like, you know, they were up there with New York, just like how Atlanta is right now in the music industry. California had its run. It was running the damn entire country, inspiring producers, inspiring different sounds. Dr. Dre was doing his damn thing during that time. You know, you had the Far Side, you had, you know, the Licks. I mean, just so many things were going on at that time. What did it feel like during the height in California at that time? To give people a Florida perspective, what was it like in California during all this hip hop that was just dropping from everywhere? Wu-Tang, you know, just at Mobb Deep, everything that was just dropping, bro. It was an awesome period.
Rowdy, man. It was rowdy, man. It was I'm surprised a lot of people made it through them times, man, because it was rowdy, but it was a different rowdy than this type of rowdy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That rowdy was okay. Somebody tried to sock Dr. Dre into wards, and somebody stabbed the dude to stock. You know what I mean? It was simple shit.
Right,
it wasn't no niggas getting domed at the club and all. It was. I take that back. Yeah, it was. But it just seemed like this last couple years been real. Like that's what everybody's aim is, to go to the club to maim somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We ain't come up like that. You know what I'm saying? We came up to, you know, crack some, you know what, and take them home and party.
Right. I know this is a hard question to ask, but what was some of your favorite records as the Alkaholiks? And you know that made, you know, that when you did it, you know, it just sounded like home. Well, because you know there's records that, you know, you hear from artists all the time. They're like, man, you know, can we just do some new shit? And then there's those songs in which everybody named Mama loved those records, and you got to do it every time. What were some of the records that kind of made you feel like everything you ever went through in life was worth doing that damn one song? What just give me one.
That's a tough one. I mean, pretty much. See, they got the shit with the alcoholic fans. They had their own playlist in their head.
Right,
So
right,
really,
right, right.
the songs that we do in the shows are the ones that's the ones that we know we better do that, or they gonna throw some shit or boo or do something. So you gotta
Right.
have your playlist, for the city you in. Like I know like the Midwest, like certain type of songs. California definitely like the one with me and Snoop and all that. You know what I mean? And the Licks, baby, and all that. And
Right.
then the East Coast like only when I'm joining. It just depends on the crowd. East Swift got to handle. What crowd that likes what.
Right. Talk about the flute song. What was the inspiration behind that? Because I mean, the beat was just incredible, dog. I mean, the flows were just amazing. What went behind that song?
You probably got to ask Swift, because I like the way we used to do it. Swift he's the Dr. Dre of our camp, right. He the one to put it together. So really, he would send me. I mean, he would tell me, because this is before the technology, I guess, and everything. We just meet at the studio here, just play me what he had come up with last night. Hold up, man. Right. This dude. He said I'm on an interview, but he doing something. Hey, but he sent me the beat, and then he'll say, what do you hear first? Like what you hear? You hear some party shit, you hear like a subject, you hear something, and the flute song came on. And I think I already had a rap in my head or something. I just laid it. And he was like, that's it right there. It wasn't no whole bunch of thought behind that. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you some songs we thought about, and it was hella process going into them, but flute song was just play the beat. That's all we say. Play the beat.
Dope. What were some of your favorite collaborations in which, because I know you mentioned Snoop and Raekwon, but what was some of your favorite collaborations with people outside?
My favorite collaboration is my homeboy Mayhem. He just handed me this blunt. That was a collaboration, right?
I heard that, buddy.
That's one of my favorite collaborators right there, boy.
Shout out to all my weed smokers, man. You already know, bro.
I don't know. You said what's my favorite collaboration? You said?
Yeah, well, like give me some of the people that you like to work with that wasn't in your camp, and that kind of inspired you.
I mean, that was another thing about the Alkaholiks and everything I could actually take pride in and stuff, and say is that all the music that we ever did with anybody on any record or any song, be a lot of Hollywood made up, put this person with that person shit.
Right.
Everybody that we did a song with was literally our homeboys. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
We I can't really say, I think a special night, because he ain't here, was the Old Dirty Bastard night. Man, that was the first time that, first of all, we was drunk as hell, but I just think that night was special because his energy was so authentic and shit like that. We did everything not by the book. You know what I'm saying? Like we all just had little raps in our head and everything. We just said, you know what? We loaded, turn on the mic, and we just all went into the microphone booth together. Me, J-Roll, ODB, some other nigga that was standing there, and we all just went in there, turned the beat on, and we just started saying our flows back to back. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's unheard of. That's how they used to do it back in the run deals, back in the days. But that's the only time I think I ever did. And like even with me and J-Roll, they still call it. They don't get it. I want to air. But anyway, I don't even think that J-Roll ever did no shit like that. But we got in there, we got a big bottle of peace, like, you know what I mean? We just went for it, man. And I just remember the next day I said, damn, we did a song with ODB and we had the most fun in any studio session ever. And I don't even know what made it that fun. Good weed, I guess. I don't even know.
I like what you just said about ODB. Talk about and rest in peace, ODB. You how many people? I mean, because one, being a black man in this country is difficult enough. But when you look back at how many greats you've met, you've worked with, and how many have passed way too early, do you ever feel or reflect on the honor that you've been able to work with a lot of cats that are no longer here? And does it ever make you feel like, man, I just got to keep doing what I do because, tomorrow ain't promised. and we've already lost all these great cats, way too early. Do you ever think about that? Because I know a lot of people are dealing with death right now and dealing with all kinds of things that they're dealing with. But as an artist, and you express through what you go through, what is it like to know that you work with a lot of people and they're no longer here?
I mean, what I did is, because everybody that I know that passed away all passed from different reasons and shit. But one thing I
Right.
do appreciate is that I got a girlfriend, a strong girlfriend that basically I had to clean up my act, dude. Like
Right.
the partying every night till 4 in the morning and waking up eating bullshit food and
Right.
running to the studio and drinking all night and all that shit, smoking at least a eighth by myself every session. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It just adds up. It adds up, smoke cigarette. So it adds up to that's an unhealthy lifestyle. And one thing I can say is that when I don't know who passed. I don't know. I just realized it like a year ago that I can't keep going like that. And what I did was I checked myself into a rehab. I went to a rehab right here around not too far from my crib. And it wasn't like one of the ones where you go in there, you're in there for, you got to stay there and stuff. It was like I just went every day for 9 weeks. And, I kicked my little drug habit and drug of choice habit. And, I just refocused. And once I refocused, it really gave me a whole bunch of, I started looking at how people were dying. A lot of people dying for stupid shit. They could avoid it. You know what I'm saying? If they, either play their cards right or play their health right or play their whatever right,
Right.
I just learned from all that shit. I guess I just, I realized I'm on a path. I was on a path of destruction, but now, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna come out.
But you know what, man? I wanna congratulate you, man. You just spoke truth to power. You gave people that may be tuning in or tune in later an understanding that that's okay, right? Because for a lot of people, you feel so invested in something that why stop now? And you just said, "Hey,
I'm trying
man,
to get my homeboy right. My homeboy just walked in right now. He next. He gonna stop in a minute. He look. He like not today, Jack.
Right.
But I'm telling him, help is wealth, though, man. And I.
But that's dope, man. Nah, but that's dope because you could show somebody better than you could tell them. And the fact that you decided that for yourself, I think is great for our people, our brothers and sisters out here to hear people changing. You hear that shit all the time. Nigga, I've been the same motherfucker forever. And that's just not always good to feel or say that. You should change. You should grow.
If you popping forever, then that's one thing. But if you, it was time for me to change because something told me when yourself tells yourself, your self taps you on the shoulder and says self. Calm your, you know what I'm saying? It's about time or something. But I smoke silly, so you know what I mean. And I'm happy. A lot of good shit happened after I quit drinking too. Got new movie deals and new record deals, and I got my Alkaholiks shit popping. New investor with that. God blessing me.
Bro, God bless that, brother. I'm so happy for you, man. Because I know change in this world right now is very difficult. People are stubborn. We're all guilty of it, and to get out of your own way, I think is an amazing story. Anytime when we get a brother saying, "I got out of my own way," I think it's a good day, man. I mean, so all praises for that. Talk about some of the stuff that you got going on right now that people can look for and find if they're not up on all things Tash.
You know what? I would say just go to my IG. That's gonna keep you up to date. It's Tash of the Alkaholiks. Spell ALKAHOLIKS, and that's gonna keep you up to date for a minute. But actually, the facility that I'm at right now, I'm gonna shout them out.
Okay.
It's called. You'll see that in the back. It's called Indie Genius. And what we're doing right now is I finished a couple albums and shit. I'm gonna drop some free music with this marijuana brand I got called the Alkaholiks coming out next month at the end of next month. And then we're gonna drop some codes underneath the cap. So if you want to hear some new Tash shit, you're gonna have to buy the weed, then you're gonna get the code, then you're gonna download it. But that's one. But then I ain't doing no more albums, I'm doing singles from now on. So I'm gonna put my shit out through Rival, I think, and through Indie Genius, and we're gonna get it cracking, man. Got a lot of features and a lot of good music coming and shit. I'm clear headed, so this like my best work right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What are some of the craziest things that you've seen in the industry, and without blowing anybody's spot, but just for young people, they think sometimes that all you have to do, you said it earlier or alluded to it, you got to be hot or you got to have this, and it's not that easy. If you could tell anything to the young people about what kind of work ethic you need to have, and and does talent matter, or does talent is talent undercut if you don't have the right work ethic? Talk about just talk about what that means, what you've seen in the industry, and what could be kind of translated over to maybe some of the young kids.
I mean, I might not be the best person to ask about this question because I've seen a lot of
you're the best person to ask because
rich, lazy motherfuckers. I've seen a whole bunch of rich, lazy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what it takes. What it is with me though, man, is that I try to balance. I with the drinking and shit and just hanging around, not giving a fuck people. It makes you not give a fuck. I blew a lot of money that could have been, you know what I'm saying, still with me to this day. But
right.
my stupid shit is more important. But I guess what I'm saying is, like, if you get into this thing, you gotta figure out if you really think you dope enough to make a mark, because there's a million rappers now. When I was coming up, if you get on shit like K-Day and shit like that, you was special. Now ain't nobody special. Right. Everybody got a song, everybody got video, everybody got bitches in the video, everybody got little funny color hair, everybody got tattoos everywhere, everybody got guns, everybody got, you know what I'm saying? It's the same old shit.
Right.
So basically, I would tell you, if you could rap about something different, that's gonna make you stand out. You might not be the instant hit you think you know what I'm saying? You would be if you rap about simple shit, but I'm kind of boycotting bullshit right now. So, I got a lot of youngsters and shit that rap and all that stuff and everything. And sometimes when they ask me, is it dope? I'll be saying yeah, because I like the person and shit, and I don't want to be like, look at this dickhead, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna start telling people the truth. I'm start telling people the truth. This is my thought.
I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that, because you're an OG in the game. And that's what funny, they say, right? Man. That's it's funny that sometimes when you're young, you never realize, especially if you see death happening all around you, that you even live to see the day to be an OG. But you are an OG.
My boy Max. Speaking of that, he lived one block from me. He came from LA and he just died out of nowhere this past week. So man, Max from 30th, Arlington.
Man, rest in paradise, brother. Like that and like, to my point.
Rest in peace, big man.
Okay. Yep. Why do you think there's such a divide between the young and old? Why do you feel, and I know you see it, and you alluded to some of it. Why do you think,
I don't know.
There's a lot of older people that are mad and bitter, and then the young people, they feel like they're being disrespected, so they're not going to listen. And so you just have this constant back and forth, and it's making a lot of people money, but it damn sure ain't making us no money. Because that shit's bad for business. It's not a good partnership when you have all of these divides in that way.
What you say, man? I think I got two things going on at one time.
No, I was just saying that there's such a divide between young people and old people, and you're on the West Coast, so culture may be a little bit different over there. But I know there's a lot of older people that say, "Man, fuck them kids, all that whack shit they're doing, blah blah blah," and then you have the younger folks saying, "Well, shit, if you're gonna disrespect us like that, fuck you, we ain't listening to you." So that's bad for business. Like you can't get anything done if
what it is. It's part of my head. I just thought of this just now, man. Cause see, when we was kids and shit, like right out of high school, nigga, I used to see Ice-T like every day. You know what I'm saying? In the Porsche, or in the Benz, he's already popping. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's who I used to look up to. Like he really is my OG. You know what I'm saying? Like
shout out to
he's
Ice-T.
the first one to tell me, you got it. You know what I'm saying? And I used to go to the shit all the time. But he really put King T in the game. King T put me in the game. So it's like I come from that domino effect.
Right.
But
You
the whole
had
thing was that I
respect
used to
for
look
your
at him
OGs.
like, man, that's Ice T. And he used to, give me props and everything. And I used to go home like, damn, with a big smile, like wow, to do. And I just, I was a young nigga. He was, Ice T. He a little older than me, so I looked up to him. The kids nowadays do not look up to niggas like me. You know what I'm saying? They getting the money at 18 and 17, so they like look up to you for what? Like, because you could rap better than me. They're like, nah, that's over with. That's where your chain, nigga, where your gold teeth, where your dime. That's how they think. But they don't realize how much we, really made it possible for them to motherfucker. I'm about to drop my Smokeaholics brand next month and put some niggas out of business and shit. But this is a lot of this and that. But I'm just trying to tell niggas like the youngsters with the weed business and shit. Like nigga, back when we was coming up, nigga, an ounce of weed in your pocket, nigga, you get 3 years. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Shit like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now we selling weed in the store like a mall. You know what I'm saying? And that shit wasn't possible without us. Just like the music, we paid the way with the music too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
right. All these kids stand on the shoulders of all of you guys. Like,
but all the niggas be around me, all the youngsters, they love me though. They the ones that's gonna pop. They got their own styles. You know what I'm saying? They look up to me like, they know my music and their music. They youngsters don't listen to a broad range like we do. You know what I'm saying? Like I listen to their shit. Some of them, I like who I like. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
I like
crazy.
the baby. I like what's the other dudes? Some niggas, but
yeah, man. I mean,
man, I think it's had something.
Lamar's doing for the West Coast. I mean, Kendrick Lamar's in the goddamn Smithsonian.
That's a trip.
I mean, it's
crazy part about that. I swear, I don't know if I've been in the room. This that out of all the rappers, I've met everybody on the West Coast. I think, but Kendrick Lamar, I always wanted to meet him and just pick his brain because he did a lot of shit real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I've never met Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying? Ever. That's a trip. Pretty much every other rapper.
But, you know what I'm saying? But for what he's done, coming out of Compton,
proud of him
at such an early age, and gets it. He gets it. Like he gets his platform. Like he knows, okay, if I'm gonna do this shit, I'm gonna do it with everything I got, and it ain't gonna sound like nobody because that's purpose. Like Kendrick Lamar sounds like exactly what he is, and that's Kendrick. You got Anderson .Paak, you got all these people who are putting it. The kids. These are kids. These are our kids. In the sense of they come right after us, and they just got a good head over their shoulders. To your point, they respect the OGs. They listen. They get it.
And it's more broader now too, because I seen something on the TV or the internet or something the other day, and it was like it was a good question. It said name a rapper from the West Coast in the early to late 90s that popped on the West Coast that wasn't under Cube umbrella, Dre umbrella, or Snoop umbrella.
Right.
And then I started thinking about it. Every single motherfucking person popping came under them 3 camps. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I ain't even look.
Is LA is the West Coast? Let me see how I can say this. Is the West Coast calming down when it comes to music and allowing the South? Because when I hear the West Coast now, it sounds like the South. It sounds like Atlanta. It sounds like Miami. I mean, I'm right dead in the center. A lot of that shit sound like Orlando. Do you feel that a lot of these states are completely, and we get it because the brat sounded like she was in LA somewhere, for a lot of years. Do you think we're gonna get past that anytime soon, or you think it's still gonna ride for a little while longer?
I don't know. They say everything goes 360 degrees. So I hope that shit does. I just wanted to. I mean, I ain't even complaining about this shit because actually, this year I'm doing better than than I was, a long ass time. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I ain't complaining about this
Anybody
shit,
that's
but I
doing
just wish that
different shit, anybody that's doing
I just
something
wish that
different right
everybody.
now is going to get listened to.
Yeah, when you
Anybody.
hear my new shit, you're gonna trip because it don't sound like nothing out, and it
Right.
sounds better to me than I used to sound back then. Cause a lot of
Ain't that
the a lot of
crazy?
the reps I did, you know what I'm saying, I was under the influence. I was under something, man. But all this is clear headed, little tree trunk, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is my best work though, I think.
Man, and I can't wait for you to send. Hey, as soon as you send it to me, man. Next week's show on radio, we're gonna.
I wanted to play something for you. Hold up, let me see everything because I was in the studio. That's where I'm at right now. Let me see if things are here. Nah, everybody left. See, my interview was boring. Look, see all this? Cricket. Nah, they went outside. Everybody smoked, so they go outside.
No worries, man. We'll definitely play it on radio out here. And real quick, I don't want to hold you all night, but I definitely want to ask you a couple more questions before we get out of here. Talk about the impact of COVID, because last year we all had to sit down. You're still kind of dealing with getting out of the sit down part, but how have you been affected by the COVID out there?
I mean, I would be lying if, basically, put it like this. I'm saddened by the fact that everybody had to die and everything for a couple things to get accomplished. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'm not looking at it like I don't know if it's like a martyr thing or something like that. But in actuality, that time gave me time because I was detoxing from coming off my demons. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
My ass still was actually a blessing at the exact same time. It was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
And another thing, I wrote a lot of shit. I wrote a lot of music, and I talked to a lot of people I didn't talk to before that in a long time. So, I took I guess I take the good with the bad and everything. But really, it was a learning experience. You know what I'm saying? When you saw the black people that stood together, and when you saw the injustices, and when you saw how certain people that you looked at with minimum respect, change their ways and basically fix themselves. You know what I'm saying, to be citizens.
Man.
I just think it's gonna be beauty at the end of this. I'm about to come with some shit that's gonna cheer everybody up. I know that.
Please.
I sound like a party on steroids.
Where do you see hip hop going for the rest of this year outside of yourself? Are you hopeful about where music is going right now and the opportunity that music presents? I mean, that this situation has presented. Like you said, the blessing in disguise. Throughout all the trauma that we've been dealing with, do you feel like hip hop is in a good place and will be going in a good place, or are you kind of worried where it's going?
I mean, I can't lie. I don't think that I never. I mean, I don't say this with pride, but I feel like I made a song about this shit, but it sounds like people taking pride in being dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like people are saying some ignorant ass shit and have like thousands of people listening to that bullshit. And I ain't gonna get specific. I feel like it, but I'm not going to. I made a song about it. But basically, I made a song, and in the song, I say some shit and everything. Then I say, but for right now, I said I'm about to dumb it down for the dummy. And then I just rap like everything I hear. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's hard as fuck though. It's hard when you hear it though. I might look at that lane though. That lane. But I'm just clowning though, man. It's gonna be a lot of entertainment, man.
I love what you're saying, man, because we need, not only do we need to hear that from a legend in the game, but we need to be talking about how we really feel more often as a community and as a people, that we just continue this conversation. That's why I reached out to you, not simply because of all the legendary shit you've done, but we need to extend our family across this country and continue to talk, because a lot of things have happened in absence of us communicating as a community.
Let me say something right there. Can I say something right there?
Yes, sir. Please.
I don't know how many people is on this thing, but if anybody that's within the sound of my voice got a drinking problem, cocaine problem, any kind of addiction, you know, I'm a year strong and I feel great and everything. But a lot of people that I've talked to, they went down the path I'm going down. So if you need to talk to somebody about what to do or whatever, just hit me on my DM on my Instagram.
Beautiful, man.
And that's Tash of the Alkaholiks.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful. That's exactly what the
I
fuck
ain't no
we need to
bullshit
be
doing.
doing.
I'm gonna fuck 20,000 of y'all. I respond to every single one. You know what I'm saying?
Man, beautiful, beautiful, bro. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you, what you contributed to this thing of ours called hip hop. I appreciate you as an artist. I appreciate you as a human being. And just know, dog, whenever you come down to Florida, it's a wrap, bro. We got love for you. And please come on down.
I'm coming
brother.
out there too. I'm coming to Tampa on my boy's getting married. I'll be out there on I think it's October. I think it's October 5th because right after my birthday.
Shout out to Hillsboro. Yes, please come on down to Tampa. My man DJ Sandman down in Tampa. He loves
we're gonna link
down there. Yeah, please. Let's
chop it. Let's get up
bro.
the line. I'm gonna set it up so I could swing through and do it live because everything gonna be open back then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Well, I want to thank you for coming.
And shout out my boy
bro.
Kenny in Miami too. He tuned in.
Oh, okay. Say that one more time.
My boy Kenny and my boy Raul.
Yep. Shout out to 305. 305. Let's go. But I want to thank you for coming on the show, brother. I appreciate you, man. Don't forget to send me that drop for the radio show. We need that so we can play portions of this interview. And man, stay in touch, man. We love what you're doing out here, bro.
Hey man, y'all recorded this? I need a recording of this, man.
Yeah, you got it, bro. Yes, please. Yes.
All right, everybody be safe. Hit me on that Instagram.
Yeah, man.
Hit me on that DM.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Give it up for Tash from the Alkaholiks. Let's go. Let's go, man. Man, such a great spirit right there, man. Dude, this is what we're talking about, man. Talking to the entire country about this thing of ours called hip hop. Shout out to everybody that tuned in tonight. I know it's Friday. I know everybody's busy, man. But look, we got to do it, man. We got to continue the culture, continue pushing this forward. Shout out to our sponsor of the night, my man, Jesse Jazz, 5stargraphics.com. You need printing, go hit that man up. We'll be back next week with some fabulous guests. Looking forward to it. Love all you guys. Have a great weekend.
Live on stage, the sound. Orlando. So, is they ready? Yes. The sound.